What is up, my peepholes? This is your guy, Cly, and welcome to something completely different. This is a celebratory video, a ceremonial video, and a slightly educational video. As you can tell from the title down below, I got my hands on a brand spanking new sort of microphone, and when I say sort of brand spanking new, it's brand spanking new for me. It's actually one that I picked up at a thrift store for $5, but you will not believe what I found. I'll tell you about that shortly. Now, what you see before you is Voice Meter Banana Virtual Mixing Board. It's such a nice program. It's one that I've used in the past, well, once, but I've been playing around with it a lot. That I've used it to have a little fun with Skype and Audacity. I was able to get Skype into Audacity and my microphone into Audacity and Skype without any hitch, except for one minor one that I have since solved, and I will talk about that when I get into a little bit of a breakdown of the features. Not going to go into full detail, just a little bit of detail. Now, let's start things off by switching to my better microphone, shall we? In 3, 2, 1.
And I'm back. This is my much better microphone. I'm kidding. This is my really crappy headset microphone, an older Logitech. Currently got it plugged into a USB sound card, and Minty mic that I was speaking on earlier is also on a USB sound card, so 2 USB mics at once. Yeah! Alright, let's switch over to the actual better microphone. And this is it. This is a nice little stereo mic, so I can have a little fun in all the different channels. I'm in one ear, I'm in the other ear. I'm in one ear, I'm in the other ear. And now let's change it to mono so I don't annoy the crap out of your head. I don't know where I was going with that one. Also want to apologize, I don't currently have a pop filter for this thing or a shock mount. So yeah, that's going to have some issues. Also, it's going to be a little bit quieter than the Minty mic, mainly because it's got nowhere near as much juice going to it. The Minty mic is powered off of USB. This one's powered off of an internal AA battery, and I've got it going through a small little preamp. It's good for eliminating interference. But you'll also notice it's a lot quieter in the background. It's a really good directional mic. I'm not going to be running any noise removal on this, which is quite different from what I've done in the past. Well, the Minty mic is an omnidirectional, so it picks up my computer, and even though my newer computer is quieter, it's still loud enough to be detected, whereas my old computer sounded like a jet engine taking off. Oh, and of course my new computer guts, which is a brand new to me motherboard and a brand new to me processor, are also from thrift stores. I got a $200 motherboard and a $350 processor, and these are the current selling prices, not the asking prices. I paid $8 for the pair. This microphone cost me $5. It is an Audio-Technica AT822. It's a discontinued microphone, but it currently resells in the $100 to $200 range, and originally sold for over $400. So I did good for my $5. I did have to spend the day working on a connector for it, though, because the previous owner did not donate one. That was fun, but I have since made an XLR to 3.5 millimeter jack connector, so I can plug in whatever type of cable I want. Now that the ceremony is done and the talking about thrifting is done, I was saying that I was going to teach you at least a couple of tricks with this software, and I will. Some of the most common things people ask on a lot of the subreddits I go to is about multiple microphones in Audacity. Well, I've got 3 microphones hooked up to this board, as you can see. I've got the headset, the Menti, and the Audio Technica. They're all linked to what's called B1. This is one of your virtual outputs. You get 2 of them. This one goes to the VOIP. And that's really it. You just select B1. You go here, and then in Audacity, you choose that as your input. You're golden. But if you want to get really creative, you actually have 2 virtual inputs as well as 2 virtual outputs. Now, if you go ahead and go into Skype, let's say, it'll ask you what you want your output device to be. Select one of these 2. Voicemeeter VIO, Voicemeeter Auxiliary. These are the controls you have for those. You can even set it up so that they overlap each other, which I don't know why you'd want to do that. When I ran Skype, what I did was I piped it in through Voicemeeter VIO, and I output it through Voicemeeter Auxiliary, so that I had both my microphone going into, both my microphone and my Skype call going into Audacity, and I also had my microphone. Wow, it's late. It's after 2 in the morning, and this is my 7th take, so bear with me. I had my microphone going into Audacity and going into Skype, and Skype coming into this program going into Audacity. Yes. Though I will say, if you're using a stream or a screen capture program, you're going to want to do one more little trick. Now, I've told you about the B's. The A's are another thing you need to keep in mind. A's are your hardware outputs, shown here. Now, I've got this set to my speakers, and Shadowplay, which is what I'm using to record this, and I use to record all of my other videos, it likes to record every single thing that goes through those in outputs. Outputs, that's not in, out, outputs. It likes to record everything that goes through those outputs. And so I ended up recording Skype because I was piping it through my headphones. After it went through here, of course. And, I keep knocking my ghetto stand. I really need to make a shock mount and a pop filter. If I sound like I'm talking weird, it's because I keep moving my mouth so I don't go puffing at the microphone. I listened to an earlier track and it really irked me. Anyway, I had Skype. I had Skype going through my headphones, and well, it was picked up in Shadowplay and Audacity, which made an echo, and it was very unpleasant. So I had to mute my game audio, and it kind of made for a flat experience. So use this handy dandy trick. You pipe Skype into here, and then you want to pipe Skype out through an additional headphone jack. Now, my desktop computer has, I think, 4 that I could use for headphones or speakers or whatever. But if you don't have that, you're playing on a laptop or something. I also have 2 USB sound cards. One of these is built into the Menti mic, and I've since added a headphone jack into the Menti mic to make my life easier. The other one I have plugged in right now is what I'm piping my headphone mic through. Yay! And it has both of them have headphone jacks, the one I just talked about in the Menti mic, and the identical model that I have in the USB slot. Use one of those. I can plug my headphones into that using a splitter cable, which both the splitter cable and the USB sound card are not as expensive as they sound. You're going to set yourself back about $1 each. That way you can listen to your friends on Skype without having to listen to them echo with your screen capture program. And of course, other screen capture programs will allow you to capture multiple tracks, so you don't really have to worry about that. I was just capturing a single track. I'm still really new to this, but I'm teaching a few software tricks I know. So yeah, use your virtual inputs to bring Skype and route it where you want. Use your virtual outputs to pipe your microphone wherever you want. And that's really about it for the basics. I mean, you can do all kinds of tweaking, as you can see here. I have not messed with a single lick of that because I'm afraid to. Mainly because I haven't gone into my experimental phase. Closest thing to experimental stuff I'm doing right now is the brand new microphone. And a mixing board once I've got everything taken care of. Well, I think that about covers it. I've not really messed with this either, but of course you can select which audio tracks you want to record. I haven't gone into the depths of Banana. Oh, one more thing about Voice Meter Banana, and everything else from this company from what I've seen, or at least let's just stick with this line of software because I know this is fact for the Voice Meter line. It is available free of charge to try, and I mean it's fully activated. You're not going to get any little tone saying, "This is brought to you by," and have it ring in your recording every 30 seconds or something. But it's also donationware, which means you can use it as long as you like, free of charge. But it is advised that you do pay the programmers for their time, and I completely agree with that because what they have created is beautiful. So if you find yourself trying out this program and enjoying it, drop them a few bucks. They have some suggested prices for the licenses, but they are willing to accept anything you give to them, and it keeps them programming. It keeps them working on this. And wow, looking at Audacity, I made a big puff at the microphone. Sorry about that. Anyway, it keeps them doing what they do, and they do it well. Until next time, this is your guy Cly, signing off.